Are customers being thrown to the wolves here because they're being sold a greenwash promise? Ultimately, they sign up and then they get left without an energy provider. There's something wrong with the way this system is operating. How do you suggest it should be changed?
That's a great question. Look, the big challenge in the UK, and by the way, there are similar kind of dynamics in some other countries as well, is that traditionally energy companies would kind of lure customers in with prices that are totally unsustainable and then hike them a year later. And essentially what they've done is they've created this kind of unsustainable mash of kind of the prices you see on a comparison site may well not be economically viable. And then a year later, people are getting ripped off. And what we need to do is kind of bring the same sort of transparency to pricing in energy you've got in other sectors so that companies compete on the basis of long-term sustainable prices. By the way, that's what Octopus has done. And that's how we've built, over 2 million household customers here in the UK and been able to really kind of start changing the way that sector works. The other bit in terms of kind of, you talked about greenwash. The reality is last year in the UK, 42% of electricity was renewable. Increasingly, renewables are becoming the norm. And what we've got to do is enable companies like we are doing today to create this ever tighter connection so that if you're buying green energy, you're getting green energy, but also that you're not massively overpaying for it because it is becoming the new normal.
What would you do with the government's decision on this Cumbrian coal mine? We understand why the arguments are there for it to be approved, but has coal passed its sell-by date?
Increasingly, I think we need to look at what a green industrial revolution can do. Amazingly, in the United States, for example, I think there are now 2 steel plants that are powered by solar energy. We've got to imagine a world in which once we've got abundant green electricity generation, when the wind blows, heavy industry is going to be able to operate cheaper than ever before, but do so with zero carbon, zero gilt.
Greg, I want to ask you about your company and where you go from here. Unicorn status or double unicorn status. You've grown very, very rapidly. You've had investment from the likes of Tokyo Gas and Origin Energy, so some traditional players in the industry. We know many are trying to reinvent themselves and would be seeing your company as a potential target. How long do you think you'd be an independent player in this type of market?
Look, today, about 11% of global primary energy is renewable. We've got to get that to 90% plus, right, to tackle climate change as fast as possible. So the amount of change that's going to happen in energy is going to be it's the biggest thing since the internet. And I think the companies that lead the way on that have got the opportunity to create value for society and for shareholders in ways which we've only seen in the biggest internet companies. So for us, our current shareholder base, being private, has served us incredibly well. And I've got to say, what is it? I think Goldman Sachs said it's going to be, $130 trillion of investment in the energy transition. There's no shortage of capital and there's no shortage of opportunity.